Right, on today's episode of Golf is Ruining My Life, I shot an 18 over, but I'm weirdly over the moon with it.
Also, we're going to be finding out just what happens if you're not careful with a golf trophy that you win and you leave it near a child. And I've said too much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that. The two gentlemen of golf return to your ears. It is Golf is Ruining My Life, Great Britain's second biggest golf podcast, back again on the Thursday episode. And Tom, it feels, I don't know if you have this, it feels like forever since we've done one of these, like a traditional Gurlm.
Yeah, it's a real old school, it's a throwback. This is the sort of thing we were doing last week, and now here we are. It's been all of a week. Yeah, so Monday we did our little report on St Andrews. Hope you enjoyed that. After we recorded our St Andrews chat, we were sort of in the car talking about it afterwards, and we were like, Tom, did we just basically pretend we were pro golfers and sort of do a post-match analysis like we were in front of some sponsors hoarding? And I thought, yeah, it's a reasonable point. I think we sort of did. So I hope it was okay, Monday's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope, most of all, you got a sense of how lucky we felt to play St Andrews. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was so good. More of those to come for the rest of the year. And we are now only a week away, I suppose, until the next episode of Versus lands, the Crail episode. And I don't want to blow our own trumpets or big things up here, but if you enjoyed what you saw at St Andrews, the Crail videos are just such a step up from that, because the mic issues had gone away. We had buggy cam. The golf gets better. The course is incredible. I've seen an edit of what we're going to put out for Crail, and I think it's some of our best work, Price.
There's some great stuff in there. If you like two men who aren't really that good at golf, but miraculously play okay, then you should watch it. And actually, you should watch it just to see Crail, because it is amazing. And I'll apologise in advance. One of the notes I gave back to our brilliant editor, Rich, was, could you take out a few of the bits where I go on about how nice the course looks? Because pretty much for the first 20 minutes, every time it cuts to me, I'm just going, this place is just so beautiful. And I sound deranged. So I've actually had to have that just turned down a bit. So that's a bit of insight for you. I'm probably having two of those taken out, and there's still going to be too many.
And I will also apologise in advance for the consistent crunching in your ears from about hole 8, I think, when I opened the spicy Doritos and just eat them non-stop for the whole round. And I don't know why, but it seems to pick up on mic all the time. You will have the constant companion of me eating spicy crisps in your ear.
God.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Tom, I want to start the show by talking about something that happened to me yesterday, and I only want to bring it up on the podcast because I know if I bring it up in front of our TikTok audience, I will get berated. But I know you lot, the sort of OG, the Gurlm OGs, will really appreciate what happened to me yesterday.
Oh, we're safe here, mate. We are golf safe here. We're the par pals. We're the birdie buddies. Let's do this.
So I had a round of golf yesterday, and it feels like I'm really on the brink of greatness. Okay, it feels like there is something there, and I'm going to tell you what I shot. And I didn't have elation as I walked off the golf course yesterday, but I just had this calm feeling of serenity that I was like, I've played a really good round of golf there, and I shot an 18 over. Which isn't a good score, right? I know. And I can't sum up what I mean other than I played Porter's off the whites, which is...
hard course. I say it every time. Porter's Park is a hard course.
Really hard golf course. But I played really consistent bogey golf. Like, I just couldn't get off the bogey train. But
okay, so can you explain to me? Sorry, I'm going to interrogate this, Tom Green. I hope this is okay. When you say the bogey golf, now take me through the bogey golf. Is this the not getting on in regulation bogeys, or is this the 3 putts should have chipped better kind of bogeys? Do you know what I mean? Is this like, I'm not getting on in reg, but it's fine, I chip and I putt and it's okay, I'm okay with these bogeys? Or is this, oh God, I was on in 2 here, I should have 2 putted for a par?
Nope, it was the first one. That's why I walked off feeling like this sort of, I've had a good round of golf there, and it was just maybe 10% not tidy enough. And if I just tidied up that 10%, all of those bogeys would have been pars, and I would have shot 4 over. And I know it sounds, this is why I could only tell you lot, because if I said this on TikTok, we would just get destroyed.
But I hit my 7-iron 280 yards. What's wrong with you? Are you a man or not? You mean that sort of TikTok?
Those guys, yeah. So to shoot 18 over and walk off and go, I really liked that. I'm on the precipice of something.
Yes.
Sounds
I
ludicrous,
love that.
But I know you lot will understand.
I totally get that. There is a type of round of golf. Did you card it, by the way?
Yep, it's on my EG if you want to go and see it. I'm trying to my EG everything now.
Okay, I'll go and write a sarcastic comment.
Cheers.
And by the way, thank you to everyone who wrote comments on my last round. I love that. It's brilliant. And also, apologies to everyone who has tried to friend me on my EG. I've got about 130 at the moment, Tom, and I have to go through and click them all. And when I click them all, often it does.
8.
I might email the guy at my EG about it. Anyway, that's beside the point. I love that kind of round of golf because what it is, it's the round of golf where you sit in the car. Or you sit down and watch telly that evening with your other half and you're elsewhere because you go through every single shot, right? I love this sort of, there's a kind of 24-hour window after a round of golf where you can remember every single shot, right? And you can go through every single shot. And in those little moments, there's a bit of crystal clear analysis that comes through. And often for me, I'll go, oh my God, I blew up because I got a double on the 15th and got cross. And then I ended up getting doubles all the way in. If I'd not done that, like there's always a moment of clarity that comes. Yeah. And what I love about what you're describing is that thing where you go, just a few, those irons that weren't quite landing on the green. And if that chip had got closer, and if that was a silly little putt, and actually that drive was wild, but apart from that, I drove really well. Oh my God, without any of that business, that's 8 over par. I love those rounds of golf.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I'm at the moment. I'm not taking driver off anything. I would just played forward again and again and again, straight down the middle every single time, which gives me slightly longer as an approach shot. And because of that, I've had a bit of a swing change. I had a lesson with Rob, and because of this, I'm now hitting a draw with my irons, which I love, but I'm over drawing them, so I was missing greens. But then it was chip 2 putt bogey, chip 2 putt bogey, and I don't know. It's mad because I shot 18 over, which is insane. But off the whites, off my 10 handicap, I get 15 shots. So I was only 3 worse than my handicap on a casual round on a Tuesday afternoon.
And
I was really happy
with it. How much better that can be because if you're hitting a new shape, if all of a sudden the draw's there, you know that next time you're going to have to aim a bit right and accommodate the draw, right? Use the cone. Hello, just bang the microphone there. What a pro. Use the cone. We talked about the cone back last year on the pod. Use the cone. You know that is your landing area there, so be safe. Aim to the right of that cone so it comes on to the fairway, onto the green. And then go and practice your chipping and putting. Go up to the course one day and spend 20 minutes, half an hour chipping and putting. And next time you play, that's 10 over par. That is just 10 over par, easy. It's amazing, those rounds.
I really do think we should all be carding. If you can, every single round that you go out and do, if the person you are playing with is a MyG member or is a golf club member, I do think we should be carding everything. Because I'm in this weird spot now where I think... And it's strange because the numbers don't reflect this, but anecdotally, it feels like I'm playing the best golf of my life. But the scores aren't the scores that I've had in the past. And do you know what I think it is? It's because the scores I had in the past were like people would give me gimmies and all this sort of stuff, and there would be like winter rules, so you'd improve lies on fairways and this sort of stuff. And there's none of that at the moment. No. So my scoring's not great, but my ability to play is better. So my handicap's going up, but I don't mind that.
There's several things that have happened here, Tom, right? First of all, you're becoming a club golfer. Now you've been a member there for a few months. You're becoming a club golfer, right? That is what happens where you're putting in the rounds, you're doing the proper cards, so that is going to impact on the score. And let me ask you this. Would you rather a grubby 12 over where you do get a few ups and downs and you sort of bumble it onto the maybe you thin a few drives and you just about sort of nudge it towards the green and you have a bit of luck and you get that sort of 9, 10, 11, 12 over? Or would you rather that solid, loads of potential, better class of golf, 18 over? Surely, because we aren't actually trying to get on the Ryder Cup team this year, you want the 18 over because you know there's better things on the way.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I was so happy walking off yesterday, just because it felt... It's mental to say that I shot 18 over, but it felt tidy.
Yeah,
it was all...
No, that makes perfect sense.
Chip, 2 putts, forward straight down the middle, approach shot just off the green, chip, 2 putts, we move off, no stress, no worry. There wasn't balls flying everywhere. I wasn't punching out that often. It was just a really, really nice round of golf. And I really want to say, if you struggle off the tee, get a G440 forward. Yeah.
I've seen the evidence of that, and you will see the evidence of that as well if you watch the Crail video, because what it does to your game is massive. Now, Tom, can I talk to you about last Saturday?
Yes, I would love that. This feels like a very traditional episode of Gurlm. We're just talking about our own golf, which is some of my favourite episodes.
I know, me too. Not at all self-indulgent. We have got Email Corner on the way, by the way, so you guys are going to get involved very soon. I played 35 holes of golf on Saturday. 35.
So hold on.
Yeah.
35 is... My maths is bad. Is that 2 18s or is that one short of 2 18s?
It's 2 18s minus one because I'll explain why in a minute. Let me tell you, a lot happened. I mean, almost Saturday is almost an extra episode in itself, so I'm going to try and be quick. I turned up at my course on Saturday morning and we had the first tee time, 7:45. Played with a couple of guys, really nice guys, 3 balls, and one of them said to me, it's the 3 club challenge today. And I was like, I've always wanted to do that. But I don't know if I've got time because we've got to be away at 11 because we're going down to catch up with our friends who are looking after our kids and we were going to play golf with them on Saturday afternoon. So I was like, I'm not sure. I think I might be a 9-hole kind of guy. And he went, come on, 3 club challenge. There's 3 of us playing. We'll play quick. We're off first. Okay, fine. Did it. 3 clubs.
Yeah, hold on, Tom. We can't rattle through this. I'm sorry. What are you mad? We can't just breeze through 3 club challenge. Right, so hold on. 3 wood or 7 wood?
Tom, I took my 4 hybrid.
Okay, interesting. Why?
The G440 4 hybrid because, and it was an absolute masterstroke. It was the club of the day for me, right? I took G440 4 hybrid, which is 23 degrees of loft. I took my wedge, my pitching wedge, which I hit about 110, 120, and I took my putter, which I hit about 5-6 feet. And I cannot tell you can manipulate that rescue wood. There are things you can do with it. You can shape it. You can turn it into I could hit it. I worked out by luck a 150-yard shot with it. I basically just, using the clock system, just worked out if I get to about there on my swing.
Call it a bunt.
No, because it wasn't. Yeah, I suppose it was, but it went high. It still had height and it still had
a high bunt. Yeah, that's rare.
Yeah,
you don't see that.
Yeah, a high bunt is what I would call a golf shot.
Yep.
And it had bite on it and everything. And yet off the tee, I can still hit that too, and especially in a short course like ours and in the summer, that's going 200, 210, 220, right? If it gets a nice roll. So that's all I need, okay? And it is so consistent. And I've said this for months. If I leave my driver alone, which I can hit well at the moment, it's going well, but it comes with peril, and I can do that. The difference it makes is unbelievable. So I have that, and I just... what it does to you, and we have to do a 3 club challenge, Tom. I would implore any of you, if you are going out this weekend or if you're going out for a casual round, do a 3 club challenge because it refreshes. It's almost like electrotherapy for your golfing brain. It just goes...
Have some fun.
It wakes you up. You have some Bob Rotella fun. You start to manipulate shots. You think about every shot. You stop thinking about your score because you're so enjoying yourself and you're so focused on what you're doing that you don't think about your score. And that's why at the end of the round, I nearly fell over when my scorer turned to me and went, "You're 8 over par, gross."
No way. How?
8 over
How
par,
does that...
gross.
I don't understand how that could possibly happen.
Mate, I swear to you, 2 birdies, plenty of pars, 2 double bogeys in there, because of course it goes wrong when you're trying to, like, I think the biggest downfall was hitting my pitching wedge off a 160, 150 tee, and I should have used the rescue wood, but I didn't, and I tried to thin it. And what a stupid thing to do. I was trying to thin a wedge on purpose, and it was just a disaster. I did that twice. Stupid. But there was something about being in the moment that just reminded me that's how you should play golf. That is how you should play the big rounds. You cannot think about the score. I honestly had no idea what I was. So I shot like it's Stableford. So I shot like 33 points, I think. Yeah. And I came 5th, of course.
Yeah, you will with 33 points. Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah. Out of like 45 people, I went through a few of the scorecards, and I was the only person certainly in the top 10 or 15 who had no NRs. So
very well done, Price.
What I'm saying is, if it was properly carded, really, I would have won. But no, some people shot great rounds. It was one person was like 4 over, but he had 2 NRs, so I don't think that counts. But it was brilliant, really good fun. Played in a great spirit. Everyone was loving it. It's just funny watching everyone walk around with 3 golf clubs. And I obviously also had the motor caddy with me as well.
That's overkill, isn't it? That's not needed.
Clubs.
That's not needed.
Very, very silly. So that happened. I played beautifully. I absolutely loved it. Drove down to play South Winchester, which is a great course. And I played that afternoon with my mate Justin. his kid Johnny, and my 2 sons. That's right, we made a 5-ball.
It's a 5-ball.
South Winchester.
It's
we
a
had a
traditional
buggy.
5-ball.
Yeah, one of them was 9 years old. I was like, he's only playing a few shots, and he ended up playing loads of shots. We only managed 9 holes with all the kids because it was total chaos. I let the kids drive the buggy at one stage. They drove it up a really steep hill and tried to do donuts on the hill. I went absolutely crazy and had a full nervous breakdown, and it was one of the most unpleasant 9 holes of my entire life. There you go. That is my Saturday.
Yeah, and you know what? Golf with kids is fun, isn't it? And it's a nice experience, and we should all do it. No.
Honestly, Tom, when they left, Justin and I then played the back 9, just the 2 of us in a buggy on an empty course, which is why we missed a hole because we had to get past some people in front of us. And we just sat in silence going, oh, sweet Lord.
This is better.
Thank God. Thank
this
God.
is the better way to do it.
Yeah.
Tom, adverts, then email corner, £50 with Golf Bidder.
Bring me products, bring me emails, please.
Let's do it. Right, welcome back to Golf is Ruining My Life, and it's time to step over to Email Corner now.
Are you walking over? I feel that's sort of one show. Right, come over with us now. I'll do a Matt Baker. Okay, he hasn't presented the one show for ages. Let's sit down now in Golf Bidder Corner. Okay, so I'll come to you first, Tom. Who have we got?
£50 available, thanks to our friends at Golf Bidder. You can send us emails, the toms at golfisruinmylife.co.uk. Tom, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. I don't really know who's going to win this week unless you've got an idea of who should win.
Well, let's try and work it out as we go. Let's do it the old-fashioned way and actually do it on there. Don't forget, Joe Sutton, who we're going to start with, got carried over from last week. So I really like Joe's email, but we didn't have time last week. So first up is Joe Sutton. Now, I did say last week he was the winner this week, but that seems unfair on everyone else. So I've really screwed up there. You're welcome.
Yeah, Joe, we simply can't do that. You may still be the winner as we find out together. From Joe. Hi, Toms. Hope this email finds you well. And that the ping clubs are working wonders for your game. Have been loving the YouTube content of late too. Thank you, Joe. More to come, Crail, this weekend, I think. I've been listening to the pod for about a year now and finally felt it was time to drop you a line. Superb. I played Yas Links in Abu Dhabi on Sunday for...
Can I just say, that does sound slightly RuPaul Drag Race.
It is, yeah.
Yas Links! Yeah. I like that.
Thank you.
Good.
For an EGF comp, don't know what that is, with 3 mates. Awesome setup, off the front tees, full playing handicaps, and the kind of heat that makes you question every life decision. Still, the scores were flying.
Good.
It came down to the last hole. We needed a net eagle to take the win. One by one, my teammates donated their drives to the Arabian Gulf. But up steps our 2 handicap assassin and sticks one to 6 feet on the long par 4.
Wow.
No pressure. Massive. No pressure, right? I rolled it in with my new lab putter, dead centre. Superb.
Wow.
Net 58 winners, trophies, glory. Proud as anything, I shot round to my brothers to show off my first piece of golfing silverware. But while I turned my back for a split second, my 2-year-old niece decided it was time to make her mark on family history. She absolutely walloped the trophy off the table. Huge crash, glass everywhere, dogs scarpering. As I knelt there, clutching the shards of my shattered dreams, one thought, and I'm not proud of this, kept repeating in my head. The moment she wins any trophy, I'm screaming, Shearer, and kicking that thing into orbit. Keep doing what you're doing, the pod's class. Just maybe mention this one as a cautionary tale for proud uncles across the golfing world. Yours in golf, Joe. Joe.
Oh, Joe, I love that.
That is a brilliant email. I really enjoyed that. Do you know what? I'm going to say it, Tom. That's going to be hard to beat this week.
It is. My only criticism is that I would scream, Aguero! It just sounds a bit better, but Shearer's nice too. But that's just
a bit more of an updated reference.
Yeah,
although Aguero's not played for Man... Even I know this. Aguero's not played for Man City for a long time.
There you go. Thank you very much, Joe. That's brilliant. Caleb, hello. Caleb says, hi, Tom. I'm a huge fan of your podcast. Thanks, Caleb. I'm 15 and probably listen to 5 or 6 of your podcasts a day. Okay. Ooh. I think that's a lot of... That's more... You're hearing more in your head of us than we hear in our own heads. Trying to work my way through the archives. Excellent. I've got a story to tell you guys. One day I was at my home course doing some chipping by the clubhouse, minding my own business, and I heard a knocking noise. Oh, God, here we go. I looked up and there was a guy there. He didn't look very happy, an older man. He pointed behind me at a sign that said, putting only. Now, our putting green has 3 coloured flags, which are for chipping. The rest are white for putting. I wasn't hitting huge flops, just little bump and runs on putting area. What are your thoughts on this and general older men who like to keep all the rules? Yours sincerely, Caleb. He's also asked us to smedley his swing, which is an old reference. If you don't get that, if you're new to the show, my junior coach when I was at golf when I was 15. It was called John Smedley, and to give us a handicap, he would whilst toking away on a roll up, would look at our swing and go 36, and that's to do a Smedley. So
you've been Smedleyed.
Caleb, we'll have a look at your swing another time. But in terms of the older man, yeah, I don't know what to say, mate. My advice would be smile and nod your head, and know that deep down inside he's just wrong.
Yeah, and sad. And knows he's never going to be pro, and you still could be pro, and that deep down is burning a hole in his soul. So Caleb, just know that, and also just do what he says and go, yeah, cheers, whatever, and move on with your life.
Cheers. I just find that it's a good question though, can you do chips on practice greens? If you are doing bump and runs, yes, you can, unless it's the middle of winter and it's really wet and you're doing damage. But if you're doing stupid flop shots, that's idiotic. Of course you shouldn't do that. But bump and runs, the impact that's having on the green, surely, and I'm sure greenkeepers would advise me otherwise, but surely that isn't going to do any damage. That's no worse than people walking around the green, surely.
No, I do agree with that. Although, if there is a sign that says "Don't chip" and you are chipping, it's quite hard to. It's a hard argument to put up there, isn't it? Like, I don't know, Caleb. You're a lovely listener, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. But if there is a sign that says "No chipping" and you're chipping, I don't know how I can argue that you're doing the right thing, other than to say that old man is a sad, lonely individual, and he'll never be on the DP World Tour, and you just might. So. This is what I would say to that.
What I've done in the past is take the sign down. But anyway, go on.
Wayne Rowland sent a hilarious email in. So I actually don't know whether this made the podcast, Tom. I think this might have been TikTok-only content, which is such a shame because it was such a funny bit that you brought to the show a couple of weeks ago.
We need to bring this to the podcast listeners because they're the best listeners.
Of course. So the idea is that no golf course has ever created their own signs which are good. If there's any signs in golf courses at the toilet...
Crap posters. Yeah.
Yeah, advertising the bridge night on a Wednesday, for example, or the salsa experience on a Sunday. They're always awful.
Everyone who has ever done graphic design at university and failed miserably, like got the worst grades, they actually get taken into a room and someone says, "You, my friend, need to go and work at a golf club." That's how it works. And I'm really keen to collect these, okay, because I think there's something in this. I think it's really funny. So if you can email us examples of your crap posters at your local clubs, feel free to do it anonymously, and probably we'll take out the actual place where this is from. The Toms at golfersruiningmylife.co.uk. But this one is a green poster, and it's got the classic thing. You can tell it's above a urinal. That horrible silver metal frame.
The
clip-ins. And it says golf events at the club, and it's got Sunday the 13th of April. By the way, this photograph was taken in late May, so
yeah, it's still there, still knocking about. Maybe next year.
And it's this golf club's Masters green jacket, and there's a picture of a green jacket, and it's just the white square.
Yeah, white background on it. Leave that there. No point trying to remove that, is there? No. Everything's in boxes. Everything's in a weird green. All the photos have still got the white round them. The font's all over the place. It's really hard to read. There's a random Sunday roast at the bottom.
It's a picture of a Sunday roast. I hadn't spotted that.
But do you know what, Tom? Part of me says this with love.
I love
Don't
it.
change,
Totally.
man. Don't, because Linda, who's made that, Linda from The Office, who this is her little part-time job, and she's been tasked by someone to make this thing, and she's put that together. She's never heard of Canva, for Christ's sake, and that's fine.
AI is going to ruin all this, isn't it? It's going to take all this away.
Exactly. There'll be a moment where all posters are really good, but they'll have no humanity. There is so much humanity in that picture, and that's why I love it. At one point, the term mixed competition does go over one of the lines, enters the Sunday 13th of April area. It's fine.
At the bottom, along the bottom, there's a clip art of a golfer, right? So it's a black shadow of a golfer. Again, white background, so it's just a white square on the green piece of paper. And then it says, all members are welcome. But Linda has worked out how to angle the writing, so it's not in a straight line. And the other one is great fun competitions. And you can imagine Linda going, what else can I say about this? Great fun competitions? Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Yeah, that works really well. I absolutely love it.
Wayne, it's absolutely hilarious. Well done. Is it Lewis?
I'm going to say
Do you want to take that
Louis.
one, Price?
Oh, Lou. Hi, Tom. Hope you're well. I have a question for both of you about what to do on a golf weekend away when you've been playing really well recently, leading up to the weekend with a big bunch of mates and being expected to play well now. This is Tom Green. This was your specialised subject last year.
Yep.
Recently, I've changed a few things in the way I approach a round of golf, and I've now shot my best round being a 90 on a par 71. So close to 89, but the dreaded knee knocker putt on the 18th. Ugh. I was playing off 27.2 4 weeks ago. I'm now down to 22.2. The things I've changed, I swing slower, I lay up instead of going for the flag. This sounds like Green and Price advice right here, mate.
Yeah, this is really clever. This is good.
Aim at the middle of the green no matter what. I also changed my grips from standard to mid-size. Thanks for all the podcasts you guys put out as they keep me entertained whilst I'm away at work all week and I can't get to the course till the weekend. Keep up the good work. Yes, we will. We will, Louis. Thank you.
Thanks,
so what's
Louis.
your question then? What do I do going into the lads' golf weekend away? I think you have to play off a new handicap, Louis. I'm not sure what else you expect us to say. Yeah, fine. Just make it up, say it's 36. No, you're off 22.2 now.
Yeah, that's what you do. You're that guy. Also, I had a really interesting conversation on the golf course yesterday about being sensible and the moment when that changes in someone's golf game and starts to hinder them. Mm-hmm. And we had a long chat about it, me and Rich, actually, the editor of the long form stuff that you've been watching online. We thought that when you get to 5 is where, if you want to, or maybe 6 or 7, when you want to then get lower is when you have to be a bit more aggressive on the golf course. I would say up till that point, you will only see benefits in being a bit conservative and going for the fat of the green and going, it's a par 5. I don't need to get on in 2. Why not just take a 7-iron, another 7-iron, and then get a par? That's great up until about 6 or 7. And if you want to get really good, then you have to change tact. I don't know what you think about that, Price.
I think it's knowing when to make those decisions. I'm just obsessed with making better decisions now. And that actually harks back to what I was saying about the 3-club challenge. I just made really good decisions, apart from trying to thin a pitching wedge, which was dumb. Yes. But broadly, because do you know what? I had 3 clubs. I had less choices. I had that many fewer choices I had to do and commit to what I was presented with. So you're right about aggression and knowing when to attack. But I still think if you're off, whatever your handicap is, if there's a moment where you're like, I know I hit my 5-wood well, and I know I can go for this in 2 on a par 5, you should still be aggressive. You should still go for it. I don't think that's a problem, bearing in mind what the risks might be. If there's junk everywhere and the club car park is beyond it, then don't. That's idiotic. It's just making better choices and backing yourself is what it's all about for me.
And I guess knowing your golf game as well, because there was times when I was a lot worse at golf than I am now, and I would take a drive on a par 5 and I would always then take 3-wood. I couldn't hit a 3-wood. So what was I doing? I'd either top it or I'd hit a huge banana slice OB every single time. And at that point, it then made sense to go drive a 7-iron on in 3, get the par, walk away. But you can't do that if you want to play off 2 or 3. You've got to be able to get on in 2 and make those birdies there. Final one. Is it Matisse?
Matthias? Matthias. Now, Matthias is a Swiss listener, a Swissner. We've got a Swissner.
Oh, it's about time the Swissness came through. Yeah. So, Matthias, thank you so much to all our Swiss fans. Thank you. Dear, this is such a nice opening. Dear you 2 incredible, generous Toms.
And that's the email of the week. Congratulations, Matthias, your Swissner. Well done.
Love your podcast. Found it when I was looking for a Masters reviews, and I've since listened to all the new episodes while also going backwards.
Masters reviews, man. We're gonna have to do that. Oh God, it's the US Open next week, Tom. We've got to do that again.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, good.
Maybe,
fine.
Yeah. If your podcast is the result of cheap podcasting equipment, then I just found a positive aspect of Chinese child labour. Thank you very good.
All right.
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Sure.
So many things you talk about resonate with me. We moved at the end of 2023 and therefore had to look for a new place to play. We joined a lovely club in the French part of Switzerland. Wow.
Isn't that France?
The French part of Switzerland?
For me, that suggests France.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it near Lake Geneva? I like that bit of Switzerland.
They provide free pencils. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
After getting used to the much harder course compared to our old course, I started playing comps this year, taking your advice to get to know people and challenge myself by participating in medal play. Yes, this Sunday in the monthly medal, I shot a 79 and broke 80 for the first time on my new course whilst playing off the championship tees. That's unbelievable. I started with a handicap of 11.5 and my 79 equaled a 5.5 score differential, which has now brought me down to 10.6. Of course it will.
That's a hell of a round. Well done,
Unbelievable. Swissner. Maybe that's why I find myself slightly irritated after your last email corner.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Go on then.
In your seemingly boundless generosity, you gave Callum your stamp of approval for breaking 80 after having shot 79 at Troon Fullerton. Or maybe it is not so much your generosity as your lack of understanding of course ratings. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to get berated.
I thought the Swiss were meant to be neutral. This is outrageous.
Yeah, exactly. Shooting 79 on that course rating 62.5, slope 100, equals a score... Oh my God, I'm bored already. A score differential of 18.6. Shooting a 79 with a 13.4 handicap on Fullerton would have been 5 shots over handicap and would have resulted in 31 Stableford points. Okay. As Tom mentioned, most courses give you slightly more shots than your handicap. That's why breaking 80 signifies good single handicap round. I would not classify a 31 Stableford round off a 13.4 handicap as properly breaking 80, despite it technically being just that. I know it is a difficult...
Despite this thing being an egg, I wouldn't call it an egg. That's what he's just said. I wouldn't classify a Stableford round off a 13.4 handicap as probably breaking 80, despite it technically breaking 80. So he broke 80. So like we said last time, he broke 80. Give him the win, Matthias. Give him the win, mate.
So hold on. Why is Matthias saying that he didn't break 80? Because the course was easy. This isn't to do with it being... What was... Does anyone remember what the par was? Was it a par 68?
It was a low par, yeah. It was like 68 or something. I actually can't remember. But
okay. I know it is a difficult question. Where do you draw the line? Would shooting 25 over par on a par 3 course, also 79... Oh, Matthias, you got into the weeds, my guy. He's got us on the ropes.
He's peppering the rough. He's peppering the conversation.
He's peppering the rough. It sounded like Callum is making great progress and will surely break 80 properly soon. Not to take anything away from him, I was just wondering if there should be a limit to the course rating on par.
Not to take anything away from him, you're literally trying to take away his smug halo of having broken 80. You're literally trying to take that away from him, Matthias.
But then he does say, please forgive any awkward phrases as English is not my first language. Okay, we forgive you everything.
Okay,
Thanks for the free therapy you provide twice a week and the Cool Verses series on YouTube.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Okay,
he calls himself Matt at the end. Thank you, Matt. And I disagree with you, but it's lovely to hear from someone in Switzerland. Can you bring some free pencils next time you come over?
I do. Can I just say I do disagree. You can't break 80 on a par 3 course, but if you break 80 on any course that's like a 67, 68, 69, 70, you've broke 80. I don't think we should be putting an asterisk next to this, in my opinion, because then therefore, what's the logic? You could only break 80 on a par 72. There's loads of great courses that aren't par 72s. I just don't know where you're drawing the line. I think it's a sticky wicket, Matt.
It is a sticky wicket. Matt, thank you very much indeed. We're running out of time. Make sure you watch Versus this Sunday. And congratulations, I'm going to call it, Tom, Joe Sutton, the Smash Trophy.
Agreed. Yeah,
absolutely love that.
I agree. I totally agree.
Superb. Joe, well done. You are the winner of this week's email of the week. Keep the emails coming in. thetoms@golfersruiningmylife.co.uk. And we'll be giving away £50 to spend at Golf Bidder next week on the show.
Yes, see you same time next time for more of this guff.
Bless you.